Freedom.
Talking Black Podcast.
Freedom. Freedom over fame.
Talking Black Podcast.
Freedom over cycle stays the same.
Talking Black Podcast.
Yo, we are finally on episode 4 with my famous co-host here. I am Ray Renard Sams, IG Ray 2002.
I'm
Guys, go ahead and
Dante, and
introduce-
Johnny is so fly on IG. Ladies,
Not ladies. Okay, y'all. Hey.
Oh, go ahead.
Hey, y'all. Hey, my name is Jasmine. I am Jasmine Gill on IG.
And I'm Courtney, Life Through Court Eyes on IG.
all right, y'all. So we're back again. So we're going to discuss coming out of the gate, Black Republicans. I don't know about you guys, but growing up, for the most part, I always thought of the Democrats as the good guys, Republicans as the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just something that I think as young Black youth, we've always had that outlook. We've always been taught, oh, we're voting for the Democrats because they care about, the Black people or the middle class. And the Republicans are all out for one thing, keep the rich rich and eliminate the middle class. So what are you guys' thoughts about African Americans or Black people, melanated people being Republicans?
I think it is something that we adopted because, of course, I always voted Democrat until our last governor. I think I kind of grown into the fact that Democrats ain't shit either. Ain't never been shit.
That part.
And then I understand some of the Republican views. I understand some of the Democratic views, but as a taxpayer and a hard worker, I'm learning to understand the Republican views more because shit, I work hard.
Exactly.
And I feel like the Democrats, they don't recognize people who really work hard. They kind of cater to people who don't work hard, which nothing is wrong with that because everybody need their own resources. But what about the people that really do work hard? Like, why do I have to pay all these taxes out of my check that I work hard for and I get a stimulus?
Got it. Jazz, what do you think about this?
I wholeheartedly agree with Ray because we in the same time bracket. So and it's like I ain't popping out no baby, so you just bending me over with no lube when it comes to taxes. And I literally, my tax guy, which Ray and I have the same tax guy, and I thank him for putting me on, but I had to go to him and just like, he had a whole conversation like, when you buying a house, sis, because they getting you on these taxes, like you need some type of tax break. So I just feel like staying on topic, like we really need to, as Black people, take a second look at, the divide. And I think Black Republicans, let's take Diddy, for example, right? I feel like he's a Black Republican. I feel like he's said that. I do. I feel like I've heard him say he's a Black Republican. Well, he's a Republican. But it's because he's making money. And he knows that that's what the tax breaks are. I feel like Republicans know more than they let know when it comes to money. But we do need to take a second look at it. We don't need to just say, oh, I'm a Democrat because I'm Black. Like, because they ain't doing shit right. They're not doing anything right now.
Yeah, and I think this past presidential election, I just think we probably voted for Biden because it was the best of the both evils.
It's the lesser of two evils, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of, did y'all see this motherfucker fall off this bike?
I saw him falling off the bike. He's too old to be riding the fucking bike in the
He's
first
too
place.
old, like baby.
Baby, that bike was going 0 miles per hour. This motherfucker.
He was stopping.
Somebody said he fell standing still.
He tried to literally put his foot down. This motherfucker tipped over. I was like, oh shit. All I could think of was just like, oh, Air Force One down, but shit, it was just crazy to me.
Back to the topic at hand. I feel like, well, in doing my research, at one point,
researcher.
At one point,
Yes, fact checks.
the Democrats were the Republicans and the Republicans were the Democrats. So it was switched. Even the Democrats were taking the Republican view back in the day. So I don't know at what point they switch, but I do feel like Jazz said, the Republican view, there are some Republican views I agree with. And Hogue is a great governor. So
Yeah.
He does great. I appreciate it.
But like some Black Republicans take things a little too far for me in some instances. So I don't necessarily say I don't agree with Black Republicans there, because there are some who do make valid points, but some just is not it. Also, in reference to what Jazz was saying about the tax brackets, a lot of these Trumpers are not rich at all. So those Republicans can go.
But they use, and that's again, they are being used as pawns and they don't realize it. And they think that, oh, we look the same. And so they're going to help us. No, you live in backwater, wherever. And none of these people are doing anything for you, but you think because you have the same skin color, you can get over. But those men, they look down on you the same way in your trailer parks, the same way they look at us in the ghetto. They not doing nothing for you and they not doing nothing for us. But because y'all have the same skin color, they appeal to you to say, oh, stand up, make America great again. Don't get your ass fucked up by your president. So let's be real clear about that. You can still catch these black hands. Don't play with me.
We are not our parents.
We're not our parents. We a whole different generation. Like we not here for the BS.
Baby.
Pretty different vibe out in the streets. But speaking of us being different, I think one thing that hasn't changed over time is the importance of networking. A lot of times we move up on the socials ladder. Sometimes we move up on the financial ladder and in our career fields just because of the people that we know. So the importance of networking is very, very valid when it comes to, I guess, progressing in our life. Would you like to talk about any of your experiences with the importance of networking, Courtney?
Sure. Doing these vending events for my businesses, I've met a lot of, like the shirt I wore in episode 3. I meet a lot of different people, different businesses, same businesses as me, and networking, it has helped me tremendously, especially with doing different vendor events. And even with my upcoming event that I'm hosting, a lot of the vendors that are coming to my vending event are people that I've networked with. So networking helps, not even just with business wise, but just helps get you out there, get yourself out there, not even just your products.
I agree with that. So Jasmine, you having a very successful styling company where you go into people's closets and literally help them use what they have to be a better, I guess, visual display of their attire. How do you use your importance of networking? I'll put the words together, bitch.
You did.
Okay, because you just said it.
I put that shit together. That was a.
Dad, you gotta put that up, or you got visual display.
Hello. Let me visually display you for the world, baby. Okay, you have arrived. You have arrived. Slam out your closet.
That shit. I was like on my Brian Gumble, like the fuck they talking about. Hold up.
Hey, I love you.
Yeah, but how? Like, yes, give us some insight into that, please.
So I'll say this.
And please plug your business.
Yeah. So again, I am Jeff McGill on Instagram, and Dante gave me a great elevator pitch. But I really am really bad at networking. I will say that I have been grateful to have like certain people in my life that kind of push me out there and say, hey, I got this event going on, or come to this event with me. And then once I go, I meet some amazing women. And so I've actually gotten clients from that, or that has led me to a different client, where it's like, if I network with Courtney and I'm in her space, and then I catch a client from just posting, styling her. Somebody else will see me on her page or the photographer page and was like, oh, who put that together? So I will say like that has been very helpful. But as far as networking, like, yeah, I just need to get out of my bubble with that. But it is a really great tool because you have the potential to meet some great people. And even if it doesn't have anything to do with your business, you get to meet like a lot of great Black business owners and find out what they're doing, and you may be able to use them or have some type of barter service, which I love to do too. So it's really beneficial if you can push yourself out of your bubble.
So I'm kind of like taken aback a little bit because you being such a big personality and such an open person, I would think that networking is something that would just, flow naturally with you. So
Now,
yeah.
but I say, I don't think y'all know, because y'all have known me for so long, like since I was a teenager. I'm really shy when it comes to being in circles that I don't know or being in rooms that I don't know. So it's like, I come out of my bubble a little quicker now that I'm older and I'm kind of like self-aware and I'm good with self. But so like when I go into rooms, give me like 5 minutes, I warm up, and then I'm me. What you know, I'm me. But yeah, initially I'm just a little like, oh, like I'm in my bubble. Give me like a little cocktail, throw some music, and I'm ready. Like, hey, what's your name? Your hair is cute. Like, I love to compliment women, and I think that's from there sparks conversation.
Agreed. So, how many y'all weed smokers? So we just going get
older. Next topic.
Jeopardize my good government job.
So how do y'all feel about the legalization of weed though? Because it's picking up, it's moving.
So eventually it's moving up. It's going to be federally legal soon. I don't know how soon, but once it is, they're going to monetize it and tax the.
They do in Cali. Like, remember we went to Cali? I cannot confirm or deny what y'all purchased, but the taxes on the receipt.
I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
The taxes were like out of this world. It was like 12%.
Oh shit!
Yeah, actually, don't even give you a receipt. You got to pay in cash. But I found that out from a friend. But the tax was high. So yeah, they're already doing like if you ever go to Cali and that's something that you're into. I heard that, when you go, not only do you have to pay in cash, but you're definitely like, there's state tax you gotta pay. There's like some type of local tax, and then there's like a weed tax. So you
put a weed tax on that thing.
Yeah, that joint was like 12%. So I'm just like, yeah, if it comes, they definitely gonna find a way to tax you. And what they need to do is let all the people free who locked up for weed right now in those states that are. Why are they still in jail? That should be a bigger topic. Why are they in jail for a petty crime? But anyway, staying on topic. It needs to be, because it has, I've heard it has, health benefits.
First off,
I heard that too.
It's a bunch of allegeds that was just used.
Allegedly,
I heard.
By Jasmine through that whole soliloquy. Like, I appreciate it.
I know friends and family, the friends and family.
I get it. I was just like, damn, she know a lot about a lot that she don't do, and I respect that, because I don't talk neither.
I talk to my family.
The street,
because we get a vast understanding. You have to have a vast understanding of what's taking place. So yeah, I definitely get that. So what about childhood?
I gather that's not your judge.
You said what about what, Dante?
I said, what about childhood trauma?
Ooh,
that's a whole thing that
actually needs to be a whole episode
that still bothers you.
No.
You said, what was your question?
I say, is there anything that bothered you or gave you such trauma as a child that still like haunts you now?
Absolutely.
Now, I understand like this is like a big thing. Like we have to like set a whole show aside for it.
We should.
What are like some small things that that triggers you?
Well, my mother was an alcoholic, so that plays into why I really don't like to drink now. Well, because it's disgusting now, but that factor into me drinking because of what I had to see every day growing up.
I will piggyback on that. I have, a strong family of drinkers. And that's one thing that kind of like gets under my skin and kind of turns me off. So I'm kind of trying to work through that. And I'm not a big drinker. I don't see how people drink till they pass out or drink to where they can't remember their actions. My stuff will literally turn. If I'm drinking too much, my body will like, hey, that's enough. Like, we good.
Might as well be like drugs. So
Same.
seeing that type of stuff as a child, that pushed me so far away from it that like even the small recreational things that's considered, safe, I still just won't do. Like
that makes sense. Like that makes sense now that you said it. I get it.
Yeah, so
But even these these recreational things are not safe anymore because now they lacing stuff with fentanyl.
Yeah.
That is true.
And kids are dying.
Yeah, so you think you getting a little bit of weed and it's got fentanyl in it.
Yep. That's crazy. That's crazy. But on a lighter side of childhood trauma, there's little things that I catch kids doing that I wasn't allowed to do as a child. And it triggers me to the point where I react as if I was my parent. So like when you be in public and you hear a kid say, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, what the hell are you telling you don't want to do? Yes, your mother said, or you gonna get knocked the fuck out. And to me, like that shit triggers me. Or kids that like run through stores. Like if you don't get beside your parent and walk hip to hip, like what the fuck is your problem?
It takes a village.
It does take a village. And sometimes
I think we're losing that. I think we are wholeheartedly losing that aspect of that, because I remember when I used to work at a bank, and I don't know why I remember this story like it was yesterday. Like I was a teller at the time, and I'm seeing, or whatever, management, I'm seeing this little boy. Like the whole time I'm seeing the mother and the son in line, and she's like bargaining with him because he's throwing a tantrum. Like, Timmy, if you just, just be quiet, we'll go get some ice cream after this, or we'll go get some nuggets. And when I say by the end, like by the time she got close to the line, little Timmy was on the floor, literally kicking and screaming. I told my customer, give me a moment, came on the desk and told his little ass, did he hear what his mother said? Stand up and act like a human. And he got up and he did what he needed to do. So, and it takes that. And it's like, if I'm somebody, like if I'm something to someone's child, I take that very seriously. Like I'm Courtney's, one of her sons' godmother. If I see him doing something, I'm gonna tell him. If I see her other stuff doing something, I'm going to say something to him. I'm not just going to stand by and judge the situation. I'm going to be an active member in their lives. Same thing with my other goddaughter. I'm going to be an active member. I'm not going to stand by and watch a child act up. Reach one, teach one. Everybody can catch your ass whooping.
Facts.
I'm with all the smoke. I beat children up. You need to play with these. They want to talk grown. They want to act grown. You can get these grown ass hands and this grown ass whooping.
Oh my God.
Got to be corrected and put in their places sometimes.
You ain't watching my kids call CPS on you.
And that's fine, because CPS can catch these hands as well.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, I don't have time for any of these damn children. So we were just talking about childhood trauma, right? Did you have any experiences with anything that's traumatizing as a child that still affects you now?
Honestly, I don't.
You don't? Nothing at all?
Not that I can think of on the top of my head.
It's Jasmine's face for me.
I was a good kid.
I cannot see. I'm legally
We
blind.
didn't say whether or not he was a good kid. It's more so to the fact that if something like, for example, your dad, he's around now, but what about when he wasn't? Did that bother you or trigger you or affect you at all as a child?
Not really, because I always knew who he was. So I always had a relationship. I stopped going up there because I didn't like going up there.
I mean, it's Jersey.
When I think of New Jersey, I think of like Philadelphia and Baltimore. It's just like dirty ass places.
It's a little worse than Philadelphia and Baltimore.
What it is. It's like
It is the armpit of America, but I digress.
Don't do that to Jack.
I have family up there, so gotta deal with
I
it.
guess Baltimore would be the butthole, but that's something else. We're gonna go and talk about did your high school prep you for life?
No.
Oh, no.
That's what?
Because let me tell you something. What did we read Beowulf for? How did that help me in life?
They asked me
know
that
what
question.
the
That is
fuck.
hilarious.
I don't know
Why
we
did that
read
help me?
Beowulf. I don't know why we read MacArthur. I don't know why we did
Why
any
did
of
we
this.
read anything Shakespeare? What did Shakespeare do?
It didn't do anything for me. I can remember being in Mr. Delatish's class and he having us read Macbeth and shit like that. And I was like, what the fuck am I ever going to use Macbeth for in my life?
And then make us create a battle shield.
He didn't even teach half the time. He just had
He did.
Walked in that classroom with that cow suit on.
Ah!
And that's what got us separated in the class because y'all don't know how to, y'all don't know how to hear a joke and laugh quietly. That's what the fuck y'all
How do you
probably
laugh quietly?
No,
Just
she
like
didn't.
that.
That cow suit, that wasn't the laugh quietly type of moment.
Well, I shouldn't have told y'all to move over. Yeah.
Because the reason why, first of all, they should have never put the three of us in the same class.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing with that one.
You don't do that. That's number one. You don't put the three of us in a classroom together and then let us choose our seats.
Well, that changed immediately.
I almost failed that class because of you.
Yeah, we had a good time. We had a real good time. That was something special. But yeah, no, high school was trash as far as preparing us for life. Like, only thing I think high school really did was show people their potential social circles outside of the walls. I think that's why I think that bully is a necessary evil. But that's a conversation for
Say
me.
what now?
That's why I believe bullying is a necessary evil.
It is not.
It is not.
It is.
Yeah, and I'm speaking of because of a person that was bullied in middle school.
But you were a bully in high school.
No, I was not. I was not a bully. Who did I bully? If you watching this episode, you think I bullied you? Holla at me. Because that's one thing I would never do.
We talked about a lot of people.
We talked about a lot of people. That's not bullying.
Bully, Dante.
It's not bullying.
Why isn't that bullying?
Talking about someone and physically bullying someone is different.
Well, there's different kinds of bullying.
I mean, bullying can be verbal though.
Bullying, exactly. Bullying can be verbal, it can be a mental thing.
But what she's talking about, like, was she saying it to this person or was she saying it to y'all?
It depends on who the person was.
Now, there was one time where I said it to the person, yes. But overall, we joked, we laughed, and we played. We were kids. We weren't making nobody go home and think about committing suicide or killing them.
I hope not.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree. Bullying can come in a form of, words. Like, because some of these kids are getting bullied online through social media. And they are committing suicide and they're harming themselves. And like we said in the last episode, I thank God we didn't have social media. However, when you're talking about like us being in that English class and you making fun of that girl, she didn't hear us. We was, we're kids. We were making fun of her. Yes, we were making fun of her. She didn't hear us,
But granted, I think she knew we was laughing at her because she came into class late with the cow suit on. So the whole class saw her.
It was like brown and cream, and it was a bodysuit.
It was a bodysuit.
A bodysuit that looked like a cow. Like it had cow print on it, but it was a whole bodysuit, like literally from neck to ankle.
Just on a regular day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
With the boots.
But she was African though, so.
That makes it better?
No.
I mean, because sometimes Africans like wear,
No.
Hold up. What do you mean by that?
Mhm.
I'm waiting for Georgia.
Next.
What you not going to do is pay me what you.
What do you mean by that?
But I still want to go back to your comment that bullying is a necessary tool. Like I really understand what you're saying.
Because it builds character. Sometimes you have diversity and things that are going to be blocking you out here. And if you don't have the gall and the balls to stand up and make sure that you fight through those things, you don't know necessarily how you're going to deal with certain challenges.
So why do you have to go through all that?
To the point where like somebody's like beating you up or stuff like that, but it's some things that you have to deal with on an everyday basis. And it may be somebody's zoning on you or somebody's just like picking on you for something that you said or you did. But are you going to cower and be like, oh my gosh, I have to deal with this again today? Are you going to just say, hey, look, man, fuck you. I did it, and get past it and be on about yourself. And the people who realize how to get to that point and punch through that a lot faster usually are the people that make it through and survive and get through these things and these challenges in life a lot easier and better. You know,
why do you have to go through all that? Why do you have to go through all that when you're trying to build up people?
Right.
You can still build up people, but everybody's going to have a test, a trial, a tribulation. And whatever form that it comes in, as adolescents, our trials and tribulations came through each other. Be it a bully, be it, oh, I'm just having a bad hair day, or being that you were just the bed for that week. And some people just couldn't get over the fact that they had to be the bed for a little bit of time. No. Like at the end of the day, I think you should just always swing back. Like, don't stop fighting. You got me fucked up. I don't care if you're talking about me or doing whatever you do. I'm gonna say something back. Like I'm gonna protect myself. I'm gonna fend for myself through it all. And if I see somebody who can't, then I'll jump in and fend for them as well. Like you got them fucked up too. But at the end of the day, you want to continue to tell that person you got to fight for yourself. Because if you don't, then people will continue to step on you.
How about just don't bully people? My brother and my daughter, they were not bullied at all, and they are living successful lives. Yeah. My young middle son, I've had issues with bullying, and this is elementary school. I've had issues with this one kid who's been bullying my son. The school wasn't doing anything about it, so I had to go down there and let them know. At the same time, so told him, stand up. You have to stand up for yourself. But when does it come to an end? If you're standing up for yourself and they're still bullying, then what? Where's the character building?
Then you lay hands on that motherfucker.
I mean, I think the character building, so to tie it in, because Dante asked, like, did high school prepare us? I mean, in some aspects, yes, and in some aspects, no. So I'm gonna say no, because a lot of it starts at home. So the same thing that you did, Courtney, is the same thing my mother had to do. Y'all know I came here from Texas, so I didn't talk the same, I didn't dress the same, and I got made fun of when I had to go. Well, actually, I had to go to Buck Lodge, right? So I in Texas, you graduate. Maryland, I had to go back to elementary school. So it's like I'm going to elementary school with kids that I don't know that all grew up together. So I got bullied. And it was because I had a good relationship with my mother that I told her, hey, this is going on, because the school nor the teacher was doing anything about it. And was like, oh my God, you look so familiar. And I'm like, I don't know you. It took a second for, to click in who she was. And she was in church talking about she changed her whole life, gave her life to Christ. Blah, 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 blah. And I get it, but it's like her life could have went two different ways. Because let's be real, bullies' lives go to either way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yes, I understand what you're saying. Like, yes, it builds character, because I learned to stand up for myself and never let someone bully me again. Yeah. But my parent also stepped in.
Yes.
So...
Shout out Miss Gail. Shout out Miss Gail. That's what's all being a strong mother.
This don't play about me.
Yeah.
But I think the parent has to prepare you for life's events.
I agree. All right, guys. Well, we always end our podcast with a quick little question. All right, and the rules are going to apply the same way. You have to choose one answer with no explanation behind it. All right. Health or wealth? health or wealth? Courtney, pop us off.
Health all day.
No reasoning, just one. There we go. Ray, where you at?
Say it in your final thoughts.
Health.
Health, okay. Jasmine, where you at?
Wealth.
I'm going to go with wealth as well. That's just how I feel about that. All right, so now we're down to our final thoughts. I'll jump in and kick that off. So, talking about Black Republicans, I felt like that line is blurred. Still dealing with a couple of things of trying to understand why is it such a stigma for an African American to be a Black Republican. I think it's get in where you fit in. If it benefits you to be a Republican, be a Republican. If it benefits you to be a Democrat, be a Democrat. Benefits you to be a liberal or just be something completely outside of the box, then be whoever the fuck you need to be to make sure that you're living the way that you need to live. Importance of networking, crucial. I think a lot of time knowing people will get you a lot further than actually going to school and obtaining that degree. And I know that sounds a little sacrilegious, but 9 times out of 10, if I know you, I'm gonna pull you up before I pull up a random. Legalization of weed, they might as well go ahead and legalize it. My only thing is that it can get scary when we allow our governments to legalize things because that gives them the floodgates of putting anything that they want into a product and giving it out to the masses to persuade or move their agenda however they need to do it. Childhood trauma is very prevalent in a lot of people's lives. I don't think that a lot of people understand they're still dealing with some of it. High school was trash. It did not prepare us for life at all. Like Ray said, I haven't said any fucking Shakespeare since fucking high school. And it's always gonna be wealth for me. Maybe I'll change that answer for my kids. But those are my final thoughts. Courtney.
Oh, all right. All right. So Black Republicans, do your research, people. Don't just be a Democrat because it's the cool thing to do or just because we're Black. Do your research and vote the way you need to vote or don't vote at all. It's your life. You can do whatever you like. Importance of networking, absolutely. There are some great people out there that you have yet to meet. I have met some awesome people in the last 6 months that I've been putting myself out there. Legalizing weed, I heard it has great health benefits, so I think it would benefit people from childhood trauma. I definitely had to deal with some childhood trauma that I didn't know that I was dealing with. So I definitely think we need to have a whole topic about that coming soon. High school, you take the good with the bad. But I had an active parent. So if you have an active parent, it makes a world of difference. I say wealth over health because
we just said.
No, don't cut me off on my It's my final thoughts. I say wealth over health because if you have money to pay for good food, there's good food out there.
Courtney is with you.
My final thoughts, Black Republicans, I take it or leave it. It is what it is. They're out there. They're not going nowhere. So we just going to run with that. Networking, absolutely the best thing I could have done with my business because I have met a lot of great people that have helped me to make my business better. Legalization of weed, it is coming, but it's going to be taxed a whole lot, and it's going to be
Hold up.
on, I'm doing something.
We need some milk.
Legalization of weed, it will be taxed, and they're probably going to put a whole bunch of up charges on them. What else? High school. The only good thing about high school is I met y'all. Hey, girl. And health or wealth, health because if you're healthy,
it's just health.
Don't say it, hater. But I get it.
For me, my final thoughts. Black Republicans. I mean, none of them. I don't think any politicians. All of them ain't shit. So it's give or take. Go for who you think is best. I mean, I'm kind of going more for the Republican side just because, as we mentioned earlier, this tax thing is not working for me. Networking is very important. I missed that part. Weed legalization, I'm so for it because I want to open up a weed shop. Childhood trauma, I haven't really experienced as much childhood trauma. Like I haven't dealt with the bullying and all that. The high point, high school, probably for life, no. But the social part did.
Right.
The social part did. And I don't care what Dante says, health, because if you take care of yourself, you will.
All right. Thank you all for watching the Talking Black podcast. We got some more episodes coming up. Episode 5, we'll be in a new location with some more Black-owned gear. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate all the support. Other than that, it's wealth.
Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.